to welcome Jude Feranmi, popularly known as JFK, to the show. And we just want to find out more about him, so we'd like to start by asking you to tell us about yourself.
Thank you very much for having to do this. I believe that the media has a very important role in amplifying what we're trying to do, especially as a generation. And this is definitely in that line. So thanks for doing this.
No problem.
I am JFK, Jude Feranmi. I'm author of a book, The Pragmatics of Real Change. I also co-run a tech community-based organization, basically getting young people, young tech founders together and bridging the gap between those who have gone and those who are coming up. Outside of that, I'm a young person. I believe so passionately about Nigeria and the possibilities that can occur if we all come together as young people, put our talents together, put our numbers together, and be able to say that this is the kind of Nigeria that we want to achieve and then make it happen. I believe that there is an immense possibility in that.
One thing that strikes me, your name JFK reminds me of another young leader obviously in America whose career was cut short. But I'm curious, what does the K come from?
I can't drop my son.
Yes.
But the K there stands for Kolawole. So it's Jude Feranmi Kolawole. But if I do that, it means I'll be dropping my surname. And
so what school did you go to?
Yeah, I finished from Great Ife. I have a very funny university story. I was in faculty of pharmacy. I was a pharmacy student for 4 years, and I left. I crossed from pharmacy because I wanted to do politics and switched to philosophy. Yeah. So I spent practically about 10 years in the university.
Finding a purpose is good. Like,
it
doesn't matter how long. It's not a race.
Yeah, it was very important. I did politics in school. Was 3-time parliamentarian. Once in pharmacy, twice in philosophy. Was PRO of the student union.
I think for all the youths watching, that's an important note to take from this. It's not a race. Just find what you need to do. Doesn't matter how long it takes you.
Doesn't matter.
It can turn out good like JFK. So much promise. So speaking of promises, you promised once of getting at least 50 young Nigerians into parliament in the 2019 general election. How do you plan on going about this?
Okay. So and I'm glad that you guys are here and the KOWA Party Secretariat. One of the strategic focuses that we have as a party is not just the presidential elections, but also the National Assembly elections. You would agree with me that the laws of our country are very, very, number one, they're outdated, most of them. Number two, they are not even enforced. So you have parliamentarians who go into the parliament and have no idea how much impact that they can drive with the laws of our country. So you look at the technology industry, for example, and you find out a majority of the limits there are regulations, right? You find out that one of the things that interests me is that United States of America started focusing on technology with legislation on technology transfer as far back as 1980.
Because we saw the future.
There were laws, there were acts, there were different. You want to find out the growth of technology and the growth of Silicon Valley in the United States of America. It was backed by legislation. It's focusing on 25 federal constituencies, right? Across board. Across geopolitical zones, and under you have to queue for one gold.
I would say actually the youngest youth leader. Other youth leaders of other parties. I would love to be my.
I actually know people who can give birth to me that. Right? Imagine our National Assembly, 25 people in the Federal House of Reps. Insisting that this is what must happen. Insisting that this kind of government, this 13.5 million naira that we are collecting is not justifiable in the current economic climate of the country. But you don't have the kind of voice. That's why you see National Assembly, the leaders, they suspend anybody. You raise a voice, they suspend you. Raise another voice, they suspend you.
I really don't understand what's
because it's just one person, just one voice or two voices in the National Assembly, and then everybody can come together. But if you have 25 people on the same page, right, insisting and saying this is what we're going to do, it becomes a conversation that we can have as a country.
What about your book? So I haven't read the book yet, but could you tell us a bit of what it's about?
The Pragmatics of Real Change. And I figured out that in my 3 years of active politics and 7 years of engaging in civil society, we talk about our problems a lot. We even have books about it. Right? Chinua Achebe wrote The Trouble with Nigeria. Right? Obafemi Awolowo wrote The Path to Nigerian Freedom. Right? And you have different books saying this is what we have to do as a nation. We have to increase our values. We have to solve these problems. We have to solve our leadership. In fact, almost everybody agrees that Nigerian leadership needs to change. The political class needs to change from what currently is and all. Right? But how do we do that? We want to change Nigeria, fine. How do you convince the guy in Sabo or in Lugbe roundabout there?
That we need to.
Who is a bike man? Who is an Hausa guy? We need to change this country. How do you tell him that transparency and accountability is what we need as a country to hold our leaders accountable? He doesn't agree with that. Okay. So we that are insisting that we have to change Nigeria, we need to get practical. Right? Going to the grassroots, 2,500 naira, right, will do wonders in my constituency. Have skills, right, that you can give to people who are contesting, candidates who are contesting, who would have to pay for these monies. And in my book, I also wrote that we underestimate the fact that the work that young people did in 2015 was just on social media. It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was for work as well. People.
So the guys that we know are the ones on social media who took up the campaigns, who made it happen, right? The one on the streets, ballot box snatching, rigging, organizing, mobilizing, strategy, are all young people. You understand? So there's a way we need to be able to understand that if we are going to get practical about really changing Nigeria, there are things that we must do. We must organize, we must mobilize, we must fund. We must put money and resources together and make something happen in this country like Nigeria, right? And really want to do something, you can basically pick a book, pick my book, right? And find out, okay, I can do 1, 2, 3.
So moving on, we're going to ask you about your councillorship aspirations and how that went. What were your experiences from that election?
My councillorship aspiration ended in a quite weird manner. Right? We didn't end up on the ballot paper. And because of a couple of things that happened, right? Like I said, which is my own narrative, right? The governor of the state was from my ward. The ward I was contesting, the majority leader of parliament was also from my ward. Okay, and in the end, the person who ended up contesting went unopposed. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Right. So they basically found out somebody who had been suspended from our party since 2013 and get paid that guy some monies. And that guy kept insisting we didn't have any candidates. Some stuff got missing in INEC. They had to say we should go and look for it in Abuja. We came back to Abuja, went back. By the time they found it, they said the process was over.
It was too late. Wow.
Yeah. So it was just like you go into a fighting ring, and then somebody just I'll just do your face a little bit. See the battle too.
That's the dirty reality.
Yeah,
of registration and the need for people, youths especially, to get their PVCs and exercise their rights.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most important civic duties that a citizen is required of, right? So because our leaders are not doing what they are supposed to do, right? So in solving that problem, right, we cannot now say that because our leaders are not doing what they are supposed to do, we are also, as citizens, are not going to do what we are required of to do. So it's an obligation, it's a duty of every citizen. The votes don't count, they don't collect at the polling unit, parties are not fair, or by the way, KOWA party is very fair and free. We're not going to be doing delegate system, it's direct primaries. There are a lot of arguments, but those are beside the point. And that's my own opinion, right? Every Nigerian that is 18 and above, right, should get the permanent vote.
I definitely agree with you, and that's why VOP is actually sponsoring a campaign called My Nigerian Dream, which is geared towards raising awareness in the public for people to get their PVC. So I agree with you. I want to ask you about KOWA. What pushed you to join KOWA? Why KOWA?
Oh, okay. So before I joined a political party, I already had experience. I was really working in the civil society space, right? And I traveled to Bayelsa, traveled to the north, organizing for peaceful elections and votes not fight, especially with Enough is Enough Nigeria. I did some volunteering experience with budget when it started. And at that point I realized that there is a limit to advocacy, right? Advocacy is very important in a democracy, right? And we need people who will stay in that space and continue to do that work, right? But for me, it was not satisfying enough that I continued to demand and ask that, Mr. Governor, this is what you should do. Most of the times, right, Mr. Governor knows what he's supposed to do.
He just doesn't want to do it.
He just doesn't want to do it, right? And you can take the horse to the river. You can't force the horse to drink the water, So we can continue to insist that those failed leaders who are currently in power should do what they know how to do, or what they know they should do, right? And if they insist on not doing it, then we're stuck here. So we can, of course, the power of advocacy is very, very important. And
I'm so impressed talking to you so far. I can tell that you're well read, well spoken. You've written a book, so obviously you write well. These are the kind of leaders that, Nigeria, I spoke with someone a couple of days and said Nigeria is thirsty for good leaders. And I can see that in you. We have a good leader, a good young leader that people can look to. So definitely, this has been an interesting interview so far. So now we go to the pop culture aspect of the interview.
Yep.
You're young guys, so this should be fun. So when I say assurance, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Of course, the video and trouble.
What do you think about that? Would you buy a Porsche for your girlfriend?
Well, I would buy a Porsche for my girlfriend if I had 30 billion in my account. But I wouldn't have to cheat with her twice.
That's a good one. That's a good one. My next question for you: are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's good. So we'll be accolades. What comes to your mind when I say accolades?
Funny enough, I'm wondering how these guys started Charles of Kuta.
The accolades thing. I really don't know how it started. I saw a video once where he's just running around the streets shouting.
No, it's been around. You know, if you remember this Hamo Shine.
He did that Nunu thing. Then he came with accolades. I don't know how it started, but at some point I just knew that everybody wanted accolades. Even the vice president recently said.
I saw a 4-year-old saying she wanted accolades.
Do you want accolades?
Like accolades? No. I've not paid my dues.
Favorite song out right now?
Favorite song?
Right now.
It will be again by Davido, Fire.
Oh, Fire is a good song. That's a good song. Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I don't do movies.
You don't do movies at all? What about series?
Series, since Game of Thrones ended, I've not been watching any series.
Game of Thrones.
And the series the last time.
I think for somebody interested in politics, did you ever watch House of Cards?
Of course.
House of Cards is a great show.
House of Cards, Scandal, Madam Secretary. Which other one is there? A couple of political series.
I think Scandal got carried away. At some point, it was unrealistic. Every time something happened, and she would just, is that how easy it is?
Yeah.
I mean, they need Olivia Pope song, and why?
Okay. I don't have a preference. Whether iPhone or Samsung. I think Samsung is more durable, right? Over time, so I've used Samsung a while and I have to drop it and pick up an iPhone. But so preference, really, I don't have.
Fair enough. Gadgets. Are you into gadgets?
Gadgets. I'm into gadgets. I have a phone. I have a power bank, a mobile.
That's pretty much all. What would you say in terms of technology now? What do you find most interesting? Like, you know, that sometimes when you see some piece of technology and you're just like, this is amazing. Well, what are the minds behind this? Has anything amazed you recently?
Of course, you already know I'm a tech person, so a lot of things that amaze me in technology, and it's more about the impact that technology is making. For example, you look at how artificial intelligence is going to transform the world. In fact, I really wish I can be around in this world in the next 100 years. I like to see
I wish so too. You know, so finally, this is a random question, but what's your hot take on the whole Dinomelai saga?
You know, I'm going to just say something very brief. And this is better. Right? When somebody sings Ajekunya and Yoje, and you end up becoming the one
that is JD.
You know, it's funny how politics in Nigeria can send him so. Right? So you have a Dino Melaye that people came across the board and you're like underestimating you with choppy. He was saying he became the comedian at some point, but now Dino Melaye because of his stance. They say he's the anti-corruption fighter in National Assembly, and you know, you look at Nigeria like Dino Melaye is the face of anti-corruption in National Assembly, and like, okay, we have work to do.
Final question. I want you to give your own personal opinion on both Buhari and the Vice President.
President Buhari recently said that he's not in support of state police. Did you read that?
Yeah, I read about that.
Vice President Osinbajo has been advocating for state police since the first day of this administration. You don't need any other thing else to convince you of where both people stand or where this administration stands on government. Yet you have a vice president who is the poster boy and going around giving speeches and dressing nicely and moving with the people, you will also have noticed, it's just that in retrospect, you look at the campaign in 2015, it was the same thing, right? It was the VP that was all on the ground, taking pictures with people and doing all those things, hopeless, right? Go to the teams or the president and vice president. The team or the vice presidential team, when it comes to media, when it comes to it's entirely different from the team for the president, right? And at the end of the day, what we want to ask ourselves is, where does the buck stop? Does the buck stop at the table of the vice president or at the table of the president? Because the direction of our nation today is not the function of the vice president.
Well, there you have it, guys. We had Jude Feranmi on our show. He's a great man, an interesting man, well read, well spoken. He deserves some accolades. Thank you. We hope to
Maybe not yet.